What if Deku had the Shen Gong Wu? We start this what if off as Deku had just arrived in Class 1A, expecting for his field trip to the USJ, while Jack Spicer has stayed back at the temple just to keep things out. He is thinking that there's a bit of a problem. As he gets onto the bus as they were told, as he sits next to Kendo. So are you excited for the field trip today, Zuko Midoriya? Yes, I'm really excited, Kendo. Like, I wonder what we're going to. He said the USJ. As Kaminari says, what, Universal Studios? Joint? Whatever. No, the USJ. Which is like a saving something project. I always forget its full name. So, you go to this temple. Can you describe the training you go through? Sure thing, Kendo. We mostly do martial arts training. We train with each other, the other students. We even have these practice fields to test on dummies. And sometimes we train with the master. Really? Hand-to-hand combat? Sometimes weapons as well. Weapons? Yes, martial arts can go well as hand-to-hand combat and self-defense, but some people forget that it can also be used on weapons. Really? I didn't know. Of course. In fact, martial arts can be used on swords, staff, and other types of weapons as well. In fact, there are several masters of it. Really? I didn't know that. Of course, a lot of them are, like, not really used that much, but still. I see. So, I'm wondering, what's your master's name? My master is Master Feng. Master Feng? Wait, isn't he that famous martial artist that won the martial arts tournament a few years ago? You know of him? Yes, he won a martial arts tournament a few years back. I didn't know that Master Feng did that. Well, I guess you don't know much about Master Feng then. Well, I actually do. I grew up with him as my mentor. Really? You grew up with a master? Yeah, ever since I was young. Interesting. As they arrive at the USJ, as they get off the bus. So, what do you think we'll be doing here, Izuku? Most likely training. Yeah, you're probably right. As we go towards the entrance, as they walk in, they see 13. Rock says, "Hey, it's 13, the rescue hero, my favorite hero." As of course 13 would go over, say thank you, and go through the same thing she said in the USJ simulation joint, enforced simulation joint. As it would go on towards where Kirishima would see the villains. Wow, you all even have fake villains. As the racer would say, "Get behind me, those aren't fake villains," before jumping down. Of course, in What If, Kurogiri does teleport the same people to the same areas. Except when Deku falls into the water, it triggers that little thing I mentioned in the previous episode around his belt. As it activates, sending a signal to none other than Jack Spicer. As he looks at the remote, as he's just sitting there working on a machine. Okay, this is bad. As he calls, UA, as Nezu picks up the phone. "Hello? Yeah, this is Jack Spicer, one of your students. The USJ is currently under attack." "How do you know this?" "I built a signaling device in in the costume I performed in case of emergencies for like hero work and all that, so you could easily call backup and all that. It was just triggered at the USJ." "What?" "Yeah, I'm not lying." As All Might hears this. "Alright, I will send heroes right away." As he hangs up the phone. "I wish I could send my robots, but I think I have other things to tend to." as we go back to the USJ, as Deku, Kendo, and Sue, which is Froppy, are on the boat. So how are we going to get around them? I have an idea. As he would grab an item and put it on. What's that? Nothing, just an item I got from the support course. As he jumps off the boat and says, what? The Fist of Temigong, before hitting the water, making like a whirlpool. And this is where Kendo would basically just grab them all into like a ball and just toss them onto the land. Kind of like rolling like one of those regular balls, beach balls or something. As they're just bouncing away. As they get to land, they see Aizawa getting hit by the USJ Nomu. As, of course, the Nomu would go towards them, as Deku would use the Fist of Temigong, punching and sending a huge air force behind the Nomu, but it doesn't seem to move. As Deku's surprised, as it looks down before trying to grab him, as Eraser used his quirk, as the Nomu would go back and push his face into the ground, as then, well, Shigaraki would try to grab Sue's head. Deku would grab Shigaraki's wrist before flinging him into the water, as Deku and them get out, as he would get out to say, "Kill the students, Nomu," as Nomu would rush towards him again, as, of course, Deku would use the Fist of Temigong once more, hitting the Nomu back. As he throws a punch, he activates the 2-ton tunic, as it, well, basically turns into armor. As he punches it, as it shatters his hand. As the Nomu looks at it shatters hand, before screeching out a little bit, before trying to hit again, as it hits the armor once again, breaking its other hand. As Deku would punch it in the head with the Fist of Temigong, sending it swirling, doing backflip before head landing straight first into a wall. As it comes out, it's dizzy. Of course, this is when All Might would come out from the doors, arriving just on time. Also, if you're wondering how the other students are doing, same as canon. As All Might is, well, furious and rushes towards, well, the Nomu, as Shigaraki starts fighting. As, well, Deku and then we'll go back with the rest of the class, and proceed to do the same thing as in canon. Now we go to Jack Spicer. Jack Spicer is currently just sitting up front near the temple courtyard, as where a bunch of Nomu appear, seemingly coming out of nowhere. Yeah, I figured my hunch was right. As the Nomu would look at him, I assume y'all are here for the Shingon Woo. As they would start to growl. Yeah, I figured as much. As he would press a button, as a bunch of jackbots would appear all around. Good luck dealing with them, as the Dogrim seemingly jumps towards Jack, as he uses his, well, backpack that flies to get him out of there. Good luck, as the jackbots would start firing left and right, hitting several of the Nomu. As a fly Nomu would come towards Jack, then suddenly a lightning would pierce the Nomu that was heading towards Jack through the head, as he used the Eye of Dashi that he had in his hand. Nice try. As you'd see that the jackbots were shooting, but several of the Nomu were just regenerating. Oh, great. As the dog Nomu was tearing through a robot, as then a robot with hands come down and squish it like a dog, as he then would just constantly just start hitting it until it died, as then a big Nomu would come over and just destroy, sending up its robot towards the temple, hitting one of the walls. You know how long it took me to make that thing? As several of the robots start firing into that Nomu's back, before more start to just show up, as several more flying Nomu start appearing, as he uses the Eye of Dashi to strike most of them down, as one of them starts to hit his back, as he falls onto the temple roof, as one of the dogs is making its way up, as, Well, Jack pulls out the monkey staff before jumping over the Nomu, using the monkey tail, sending it off the roof. As several of the robots are taking down the Nomus, but this is getting difficult. As we go into the main area where the Shen Gong were being defended, as Master Feng and several of the other masters are currently holding their own. As he starts to take out the Nomu left and right, using the Orb of Tornami to free several of the Nomu. As we go back to Jack, who's currently just still fighting for his life, as most of his robots are being dealt with, but the Nomus are also falling at a very fast rate. As the dog Nomu just scratches his leg a little bit, as he kicks it in the face, sending it off the building, off the top of the temple. As he calls over one of his Jackbots, Jackbot, as he would jump and grab it, as it flies up, as that Nomu that kept destroying robots left and right is coming towards him and the robot. Eye of Dashi, as he would just start shocking it, as it has its hands up, blocking it, sending it back through the temple gate. As he would land on the ground, we would just see a pile of Nomus all around, as Jack's bots, and Jack has been holding his own outside pretty much the entire time. As the Nomu gets up and starts making its way back towards Jack. Oh, great. As it basically speeds at very front, is about to hit him in the face, is when then a robot just pushes him out of the way, as the robot gets sent flying, destroying the roof of the temple. As Jack looks back, the amount of the punch that thing has. As it looks back, as it rushes towards him once again, as he tries to activate his armor, his jacket to fly out. Come on, come on! As it's throwing a punch, as he falls back, just slipping because of the pain of his ankle that got cut, he dodges the blow as the Nomu seemingly trips and breaks a wall. Phew, that was close. As he pulls into his pocket, I really wasn't hoping to have to activate this. As he presses it, as then a very powerful robot with huge arms, reinforced by some sort of steel and all that, appears in the courtyard. I know I was hiding this from Master Feng and Master Wu, but last resorts have to become last resorts. As it activates, as he runs over towards it before it opens a hatch, as he gets inside. Ooh, I may not have been good at martial arts that well, but I sure am great at piloting this thing. As he's piloted it before several times. Now come at me! As the Nomu rushes at it, as Jack throws the first punch, hitting it in the head, sending it backwards a bit. As it throws a punch, as Jack's Spire leans to the side, just barely dodging it, as it hits its arm, breaking, but it regenerates and hits Jack's robot in the chest before sending it back a bit. You think that's all that can do? I made this thing with very reinforced steel. You're gonna need harder punches than that to break through this armor. As it rushes towards, Jack's bot, as it throws a double punch towards his chest. As Jack moves his hands and grabs both of its fists before flipping it in the air and then punching it straight in the chest, sending it towards a wall. But its chest wound just heals. This thing just won't die. As he notices one of the Jackbots still flying around but injured. As he goes over and grabs it and tosses it at, the Nomu. As he gets back up and screeches before running towards Jack. Yeah, just follow me. As he's looking around the surrounding, looking for anything that can give him the advantage. As then he notices something. Wait, the Eye of Dashi. As he grabs the Eye of Dashi, maybe if I can add it in power. As then the robot gets hit and just starts doing backflips towards a wall. Oh, great, now I gotta counter this thing while thinking on my toes. As he inserts the Eye of Dashi into the main power area. Don't overload. You overload, you're taking the entire temple. As he gets up, as he starts pressing buttons. Alright. Cooling systems at maximum so this thing doesn't overheat. As the electricity would surge through the robot, making it even more powerful. Yeah! As sparks of electricity would appear on its fist as he throws it at the Nomu. As the Nomu just hits, as its arm gets fried to bits. seemingly disintegrating by the amount of electricity. As it backs up as it screeches, "What, you don't like me now? Now that I got this thing powered up by the Eye of Dashi?" As the Nomu then sent a powerful punch, hitting in the chest, denting it a little bit. As this would actually cause a bit of metal to go into Jack's shoulder a bit. Ah, should have made this thing more sturdier. As then he would punch its chest with the other hand that it got stabbed with. Or, well, shoulder. A hand that was near the shoulder that got stabbed. As it punches its chest, sending a lightning bolt straight through it and into the air. As it seemingly incinerates the rest of the body. As the machine would fall to the ground. As then Jack sighed in relief. "Oh, it seems like this is over." As then he noticed buttons mashing and all that. Alarm going off. "Oh boy." As he grabs the Eye of Dashi before jumping out of the escape hatch with his injured soldier. As he just jumps towards the other side of the temple as the mech explodes. As he hides and takes cover behind the temple. As the debris of metal goes flying everywhere. Just really going into the Nomu's corpses. As he looks back after the thing's fried. "Well, there goes about a year's worth of time and effort. I was really hoping that thing would have lasted longer. Anyway, I need to..." As he heads back towards the main area. As he walks in before he sees a horrifying sight. As he sees Master Wu's body. As the other masters come out and they see Master Wu has been killed. As this catches everyone by surprise. "What happened here, Jack?" "I don't know. I was simply out there fighting the Nomus." As they go out there and see the piles of Nomus. "Wow, they're like the ones that we fought near the vault." "Has any of the Shen Gong Wu gone missing?" Jack says. "No. I have the monkey staff and the Eye of Dashi with me." "Good, that's all unaccounted for here. The only ones unaccounted for is the Fist of Temigong, the changing chopsticks, and the 2-ton tunic that was sent with Izuku Midoriya." "What about Master Wu?" As they look at Master Wu's body. "We'll bury him. We should really treat that wound of yours, Jack." "I suppose you're right." As he sits down, he starts to bandage it. As it comes towards the end of the day, Deku gets back as he's surprised by the front door being busted open. As he rushes in and he sees the cleanup of the Nomus. As he goes over, "What happened here?" As Master Fun comes over, "Well, we seemingly got attacked." "What time?" At the same time the USJ was going down. As he's surprised, "They attacked while that was going down?" "Yeah." Where's Jack?" "He's fine. He's a little bit banged up, but he'll be okay." As he knows several of Jack's robots destroyed. "What about Master Wu?" "Master Wu didn't make it." "What? What happened to him?" "I don't know. All of us were too busy defending the Shen Gong Wu. Jack was dealing with the Nomus. Master Wu was all alone. We have no idea what happened to him." "Poor Master Wu." "Don't feel bad. We'll find out what happened to him. But first, we'll need a burial." As basically, a day later, it's raining. The temple is still very damaged, but they carry Master Wu's body towards seemingly a cemetery where all the other masters had been laid. As they lower his descent, Jack and Izuku are crying, as well as all the other masters. We come here today to honor one of the greatest masters of the Shaolong Temple, Master Wu. He taught many of us. He was a great mentor. He gave us purpose. He gave us meaning. He gave us a new way of life. He treated us like his own children. We're here to honor our master with one last goodbye." Now can I have everyone say goodbye to Master Wu? Goodbye, Master Wu. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. As they lower the coffin. May you rest in peace, Master. As several of the monks and students are crying. For the next week, everyone is dismissed. As everyone goes to their rooms. Jack Spicer is in his room. As he's working on a robot, as tears are constantly coming down his face. Master Wu, why did it have to be you? As we get a flashback to when Jack was all alone and on the streets, Master Wu was the one that brought him to the temple. You saved me. When I was alone, nowhere else to go, you took me in. And the similar situation with Deku was the same feelings what Jack's feeling right now. And that is the end of part 5 of What If Deku Had the Shen Gong Wu. Make sure to like and subscribe.